This is Empire Total War, United Provinces, video number 126. We're in the winter of 1733. We've just had the turn end. I'm just looking around now to see what India's like. Now we've got the money from the turn end, let's see if we can replenish any more of the troops, because we couldn't really afford to do all of them. It was a big battle last turn, and I didn't have enough money in the pot to recruit to all the depleted regiments. So I'm now catching those up and making sure they're all up to strength. I think there are going to be quite a few battles in the future in India, so I really do need to make sure that my army's up to it. I'm looking for aggressive armies here, really, not just holding armies, but aggressive armies. Okay, you can see it's winter. We actually had a bit of success, if you remember, with the rake, who managed to assassinate the priest eventually, which I've called on one of the comments a euthanasia, because it must have been so old. 33 years of gaming for a start, and I'm sure that priest has been in the game right from the beginning. So there you go. If he started at 30, he'd have been 63, wouldn't he? So anyhow, we saved money on his bus pass, or somebody has. I was trying there to assassinate one of the gents in my school. Reason for that is I don't want other nations to get to the same level of research as us. Republics like us, in other words, not absolute monarchies, have quite a few pluses on research rates. So we probably research quicker than other places anyway, and we stole a lot of research, if you remember, as well. So we'll look in here, see what we've got. We've got those old VOCs. The European troops tend to be on the other side. We brought some across, of course. There's an extra howitzer, so we've got one on this side as well as on the other side. If you remember, there was an arsenal that was damaged on the other side. That's Mysore. I didn't repair it, and didn't seem any point, because I can raise guns in Karnataka. So what's the point really in spending money on repairing something when I don't really need it? This is my fleet, fully replenished. It was barely damaged anyway, because it attacked just one ship that went into the port on Mysore. This time I'm going to attack two places at once. He's got one ship in each place. I'll brig back in this harbour, which we'll just send two second rates into. I don't know why it flipped about like that so much. I do edit out, of course, but I don't quite know what that was. Anyway, here are the ships. I spared you the original setup, putting them into a position. This is just showing you the ships getting closer and closer. I've skipped a bit of time because it takes about more than 5 minutes, possibly even nearly 10. Anyway, they're both on chain shot. Usual drill, same as last time. A brig. I'm showing it to you because some people like to watch the sea battles. I know it's very similar to the one I've only just had on the last video, but yeah, I hope to get a bit closer to the ship so it makes it look a bit more interesting. Okay, good shot there, about to come in. There you go, right over. Knack of the sails, look at that, lovely. There you go. You see how quick he was going before that hit went in? That slowed him down a little. Anyway, the back ship, I've taken automatic fire off that. Last thing I wanted to do was fire through my other ship here. Oh, he must have surrendered instantly. From routing to surrendering. Well, there you go, there's a nice quick one. Now, those ships, because I've got all these technologies, naval technologies, my ships can actually move quite a long distance, so they will now be able to get all the way back to the port. You can see their reach. The case is, do I now send those two ships up to attack that individual Maratha ship there, or do I put them back to port? I'll put them back to port, I think, and send another couple of ships out. I've got a 4th rate and a 5th rate in there, so we'll just send the 4th and 5th rate out after this sloop that's blocking the trade route. I'm not really worried about him blocking the trade route. It takes 5% of my trade away, that's all. I don't know what it is along there, but even if it was 2,000, 10% is only 200, so the maximum he's going to get is 100 from there. It costs him more than that to keep the ship up. So I'm really not worried about him raiding the trade route, but I rather like the prize money. I forget how much I get for a sloop now, but if I don't damage it too much, I should get about 500 for it. Well, here it is. This is a close-up of the sloop. It's a little bit darker now. Darker seas, darker everything. Slowed this down actually, just so that you can get a good close look at the ship. You see the men up there in the rigging, armed with muskets as well on there, so that they can fire into the other ships below. This is now a close-up on mine, approaching his ship. You can see where his ship is up there. These are slightly smaller than the ships you saw in the previous naval battle. Not a lot smaller though, certainly a heck of a lot bigger than that sloop. I think sloops have got about 18 guns. They've got decent accuracy on them. They've got a very good range on them as well, so they're not under-ranged guns. But they're not all that powerful, their guns, I'm afraid. And when they start to hit into the side of these heavy ships with, big wooden walls, they're not really going to do that much damage, I'm afraid. Well, I'm afraid for him, they're not. Quick click on the insert so you can see inside the boat, see what they're all doing. Very little at the moment because they're just sailing up to meet the enemy ship. Okay, you can see how the men move around on the boat as well. This is the joy of the Total War team. They do some fantastic close-up accuracy, they really do. Anyhow, here we go. Ship on the left, the smaller one. We'll turn it left quickly so that we can get the first shot in. I don't think he's even had a chance to get a shot in yet, so there we go. First one, grape shot. Sorry, not grape shot, chain shot. Take the sails away. First thing you want to do with a sloop is slow it down, because it could easily get away. If it routs, it would get away much faster than I could ever catch it. And it looks like it's surrendered already, so there's another one gone straight away. Oh no. Oh no, it's not, it's routing, sorry. Right, but we've created some damage on it already, so let's just hope that's enough to stop it being able to run away. It's one of the joys of sea battle. It's one of the things I like, in that things can surrender whereas they can't on the land battles. Not only that, you can slow them down as well. You can take the sails away so they can't actually get away. You can't do that with enemy light cavalry, can you? Those, 3 of them will run away. What's irritating about that is they'll reappear. Anyway, I'm not complaining about that. That's right. They should reappear. It's normal to have rogue groups, sort of damaging economies. I'm sure that was quite. I seem to remember that being quite a common thing in the American Civil War. Anyhow, there he is. He's still got a little bit of sail. He seems to be moving in the water as well, doesn't he? He's throwing up a bit of a spray there, but he's not moving anything like the kind of speed you would expect for a sloop. Not only that, he's facing directly into the wind as well. It seems a bit odd. Perhaps he's got rudder damage as well. So, we're going to go right across the front of him. It doesn't look like he's firing anything back anyway, I can't see anything. Maybe he's putting all his effort into sailing, nothing into firing. There you go, there's a good grape shot going across. I haven't got the upgrade on grape yet, but I certainly will do. The idea of that is to reduce his number of men, so he's got less that can sail. But the main reason is that it reduces his morale. He's had it anyway now, so the longer he sits there in the water, the more I'm just going to continue to grape him until he's got no men left on the ship, basically. Seems quite keen to suffer the punishment, doesn't he? Well, we're quite happy to keep giving out punishment. There you go, there's a bit more punishment. How do you like that? And it's a decisive victory. All I need to do now is get all the ships back to the port so we can replenish them.